What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Matrixx and Rhodes show. And we're going to be talking about Jeopardy. We all know that the great Alex Trebek passed away a while ago, and there's been multiple guest hosts of the show. I really did love Jeopardy. Jeopardy is one of my favorite shows to actually watch when it comes to games. I actually do play Jeopardy on my phone. It's a lot of fun. It really is. But however, Jeopardy needed a new host for the show with the death of Alex Trebek, and they found a host. And that would be Mike Richards. However, guys, it's over for Mike Richards. Completely over. He is stepping down as the host of Jeopardy before he really even began. I actually do believe he actually started recording some episodes, but he's out. He's out because of severe backlash on comments that he made in 2013 and 2014 on a podcast. Now, I don't know exactly what he said, but it's amazing how he's actually stepping down now based on comments from 2013, 2014. Did Jeopardy not do their due diligence on what he said? Or is what he said back then, was it really a nothing burger based on the way everything is offensive now? I really don't know. I don't have an opinion on the comments because I don't really know what his comments were. But let's dive into this, guys. Mike Richards steps down as Jeopardy host after backlash. And this is on Deadline here. It says Mike Richards will not host the syndicated Jeopardy after multiple controversies from his past emerged in the last few weeks. He just announced his exit in an internal memo. The show had already started production, which has been canceled for today as search for a permanent host resumes. In the meanwhile, guest hosts will again be stepping in, with Richards remaining an executive producer, which pretty much means he's not going to be really doing much of anything. Okay. Executive producers don't really do much of anything. But I did believe that Mayim Bialik from Big Bang Theory, I thought she got hired too. I don't know exactly what her status is. Maybe she'll end up coming back as a guest host. But this is what Richards had to say. He said, quote, "I want to apologize to each of you for the unwanted negative attention that has come to Jeopardy over the last few weeks and for the confusion and delays this is now causing." Richards said in his memo, "I know I have a lot of work to do to regain your trust and confidence, and the news comes on the heels of a report about offensive and sexist comments towards his female co-hosts and guests Richards had made on the Random Show, a podcast he hosted in 2013 and 2014, along with off-color remarks about Haitians and Jews. The controversy prompted the Anti-Defamation League to call upon Jeopardy producer Sony Pictures Television to investigate." And this is what they actually had to say, quote, "We support Mike's decision to step down as host. We were surprised this week to learn of Mike's 2013-2014 podcast and the offensive language he used in the past. We have spoken with him about our concerns and our expectations moving forward," a SPT spokesperson said this morning. "Mike has been with us for the last 2 years and has led the Jeopardy team through the most challenging time the show has ever experienced. It is our hope that as EP, executive producer, he will continue to do so with professionalism and respect." In the last couple of weeks, Richards apologized for the comments in his podcast as well as for insensitive comments about pregnant women attributed to him in a lawsuit filed against Price is Right while he was a top producer there. He was involved in 2 suits by former models on the game show, both of which were ultimately settled, that received renewed attention once Richards emerged as the frontrunner for the Jeopardy hosting job. Okay, so I'm reading this fresh, guys. I didn't know any of this right here. So Jeopardy hired him to be the host, and they knew about the comments he made about pregnant women and also a couple of suits by models on that show, which he actually settled. And I didn't think that this would actually come back to haunt them. Wow. Wow. I'm just stunned by this. I really am. So I'm kind of shocked here that they had to know about this, and they had to know that they would actually get backlash, especially based on the lawsuit by a couple of models on The Price is Right that he settled with. Wow. But it goes on. It says the news was met with immediate backlash by fans since it raised questions over the integrity of the host search, as Richards was involved in it as the Jeopardy executive producer and ended up getting the NC job over popular host choices such as Ken Jennings and LeVar Burton. Now, I thought that Ken Jennings would end up getting the hosting gig, since he was one of the most popular winners in Jeopardy history. I believe he had the longest winning streak, and really because of him, they started putting in, okay, winners can only appear in X amount of episodes, because if I'm not mistaken, didn't Ken Jennings win something like 70 straight Jeopardy shows? That's insane. It really is. Richards on August 11 was named permanent host of the syndicated edition of Jeopardy, succeeding beloved longtime host Alex Trebek, who died last year. Actress Mayim Bialik was named host of Jeopardy's primetime editions and spinoffs. Okay, so that's where she came in. And this is what Mike Richards had to say here. It says, quote, "Dear team, it pains me that these past incidents and comments have cast such a shadow on Jeopardy as we look to start a new chapter. As I mentioned last week, I was deeply honored to be asked to host the syndicated show and was thrilled by the opportunity to expand my role. However, the last several days, it has become clear that moving forward as host would be too much of a distraction for our fans and not the right move for the show. As such, I will be stepping down as host effective immediately. As a result, we will be canceling production today. SPT will now resume the search for a permanent syndicated host. In the meantime, we will be bringing back guest hosts to continue production for the new season, details of which will be announced next week. I want to apologize to each of you for the unwanted negative attention that has come to Jeopardy over the last few weeks and for the confusion and delays this is now causing. I know I have a lot of work to do to regain your trust and confidence, Mike." So there it is, guys. Mike Richards, no longer the host of Jeopardy. Ended just as fast as it started, it seems now. So they're back to square one, trying to get a new host to replace the great, legendary Alex Trebek. And guys, nobody's ever going to truly replace him. He was iconic. You know, it's kind of like Pat Sajak in The Wheel of Fortune. Nobody's going to replace him, just like nobody's going to replace Alex Trebek. Now, with all of this information coming forward now, will Mike Richards actually be involved in choosing the next host of Jeopardy? Because based on his background now, you know, the mob, they're not going to like this. I mean, they dug up all his information. He got a lot of backlash for these lawsuits now. I don't know how he can actually be involved in the search of the next Jeopardy host. I don't believe that he will be involved, because if he is, that can actually cause more distraction as well. He's just going to have to fade out into the sunset on this one. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Matrixx and Rhodes show fans, hit subscribe. Is this your first time here? And that's pretty much all I got for you. Let us know what you think about this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.